Okay, I'm going to talk about doing an eye cleanse with cayenne pepper. This one is Dr. Christopher's. There's also another brand called Eye Bright. I've used both of them. So here's the bottom line. Currently I wear glasses, right? And I went to get an eye exam, checkup, whatever. And there was a floater in my eye. And I remember asking the eye doctor, like, what is that? And, he's like, oh, don't worry about it. I am so sick and tired of people telling me to stop worrying about it, or it's not a big deal, or minimizing because they won't tell you the truth. Okay. So this eye doctor says, don't worry about it. So at the time, I didn't worry about it, right? And I kept going on, and then I started to notice that it looked like there was another floater. So I had one in the left eye, one in the right eye. And I'm like, what is going on? Why was there one? Now there's two. And he's like, again, I went for my eye exam. He's like, don't worry about it. It's nothing, there's nothing, that you need to deal with. Your eyes are fine. But every time I would go to get my glasses, they kept renewing my prescription, and he would constantly make it so, is this one better or that one better? And of course you're going to answer the question based on, they keep magnifying it in and zooming, and then of course you're going to pick the image that looks clearer, right? And so I'm like, okay. Then the next thing is, they're like, well, he's like, this would make your prescription of your glasses a little bit better than what you already have. And I said, well, what I have is fine. I don't have problems seeing with my glasses right now. I said, I'm asking you, how do I improve my eyesight? Why do I have to keep getting a stronger prescription? That doesn't make any sense. And he's like, well, as we get older, your eyes are going to get weaker, and that's just inevitable. Okay. So the bottom line is, that particular year or whatever, I opted not to go to the next level that they were recommending. And he's like, I really advise that you get these, the newer prescription. And I'm like, you already told me that there's no real difference in my eyesight and visibility if I do this prescription, and it's not vital. So if it's not vital, I'm not going to spend another $400, $600 on another set of glasses that I don't need, when the glasses that I have are already sufficient. And I already have like 3 different versions of glass frames with the same prescription that I can see and use right now. So bottom line, I did not, go for it. Now, interestingly enough, I also have contacts. And at first when I used the contacts, I enjoyed not having the glasses on my face, and anytime I was doing fitness activities, it was nice to not have to keep, going back and forth. But the difference is, contacts they're not as clear and crisp. So when you're on your iPhone and you're looking at small details, sometimes the contacts are not going to be as strong as your actual glasses. So that was one of the drawbacks with wearing the contacts. And if I was doing fitness and I'm in the gym, but I'm also looking at my notes of exercises, it was like I couldn't read the text as well with the contacts, whereas I could see the distance, right? Make out people's faces, etc. So anyway, the bottom line is, when I first started wearing contacts, it was not a problem. But then after I had the floaters, when I wore the contacts, my eyes were so irritated, and it's like I didn't want to wear the contacts. So bottom line, I'm doing all these different protocols, losing weight, physical therapy, changing my diet back to a more vegan diet, and all these things that I'm doing to, focus on my health. And then I found my bottle again, and I was like, it's been a while since I did the eye cleanse. So I'm going to do it again. So this is a little glass eye cup, and they make it in plastic, but I recommend it in glass. You're going to fill it with like boiling distilled water and let it sit until it cools down. Let me repeat, you're going to let it sit. You're not going to put boiling water in your eye. Duh. So you're going to wait for it to come to room temperature. You're going to add a drop, 10 drops, I think, of the Dr. Christopher's or the Eye Bright formula. They're both excellent. Put that in, which gives it this color. Okay, that's from the cayenne pepper color. Yes, cayenne pepper. Your eyes are going to burn temporarily. And so you basically kick it back over top of your eye, and you're going to be making faces. You're going to be screaming and squinting. Like, it's part of the process. You just breathe through it. It's just a few seconds of being uncomfortable, and then you're going to regain your composure. You rinse out your eye with water, and then you do the other eye. Okay. So that's essentially what you do. Now, what the cayenne pepper is going to do is, over time, it's going to break up those eye floaters. Now, let's be specific about what those eye floaters are. They are parasites. Yes, they are dead parasites floating in your eye. That means that already your body had some type of detoxification problem. That means your liver was not functioning properly, your colon was not functioning properly, their gallbladder was not functioning properly. And that's why when your body didn't have like good proper functioning, it dumped it into your eyes. And so those eye floaters are dead parasites in your eyes. So you're going to have to repeat this treatment of the cayenne pepper in the eye cup, and you're going to slowly break down that decomposition of those dead parasites in your eye, and it's going to take a little bit of time. So don't think of an instant, everything's done in one day. No, you have to repeat this and have self-discipline to remove these dead parasites from your eyes. So your eye doctors have been lying to you. You have dead parasites in your eyes if you have floaters. So you want to get them out, and this is the way to get them out. Dr. Christopher's or Eye Bright formula and an eye cup. And you got to just muster through and just deal with the pain. And over time, it's going to get better. Now, when I put back on my glasses, okay, and I look like I can look, you know, like you kind of cross your eyes and you look, and it's like, I'm not seeing a floater at this moment. So what I'm saying is it's going to take some time, but just stick with it and you will find your way back to health. But again, the caution is you are what you eat. So what you put into your body, what you're inputting into your body, meaning what you are eating, has a direct impact on every functioning of your body, including your eyes. So if you want to purify your eyes, you need to purify your body. And that means eating clean. Now, there's a lot of different topics that I can go on about anti-inflammatory foods, eating a raw vegan diet. And again, I have lived this lifestyle of being totally 100% raw vegan, and my life was amazing. But sometimes we challenge our current status quo and we go, oh, it's not that bad. I'll have this piece of cheese on the salad, or, you know, it's not that bad. I'll have some cooked Indian food because I'm going to go out with some of my friends and socialize tonight. It won't be such a big deal. But those toxins add up in your body. And you know what I'm talking about if you know the difference between eating clean and eating dirty. When you eat dirty, you have a poof in your stomach, your body is all puffed up, you're obese or overweight, you're sluggish, your mobility is low, you have brain fog, you forget things all the time. And you know what I'm talking about is true, okay? We've all been there. And then the opposite is when you eat clean, when you eat raw vegan foods, whole foods like an entire banana, or, you know, a piece of like, like a bunch of cabbage that you cut up and you're eating raw foods in its original format. You know, kimchi, fermented foods, foods that are good probiotic for your body. When you do that over time, okay, and you drink healthy drinks like herbal teas and, you know, tinctures and types of healing recipes, green smoothies, green drinks, fruit juices. And I'm not talking about bottled fruit juices from the store. I'm talking about you make them yourself fresh. So when you do these things, you are going to create health in your body, and your body is going to expel and reject and get out the toxins from the food that you put in previously of all the dirty food. Now, that means that you need to clean up your liver, your gallbladder, your colon. You need those things to be functioning properly. So I'm going to share one more thing. So I'm going to just shift into my bathroom and show you my hanging red enema bag. This enema bag is something that has an end like this. You stick this up your butt, and this red enema bag is a home practice of detoxing. You know, in addition to that, I have a bidet, you know, on my toilet, and the bidet is, you know, an incredible, you know, support for detoxing. So you need to have the right tools to make it easier on you to go through the detoxing process. So if you'd like more information about how you can do this and what specific products to use, I can offer you a life coaching session or a health coaching session to talk you through basically what you're going through and some suggestions that I can make in terms of what would be beneficial for you to start, and, you know, where you are in your journey, what other things might be additional products that will help serve you in the journey. So I hope this helps. It started out with the eyes, but it all circles back around with cleaning out your body and putting in good, healthy foods as well. So eat clean, detox hard, and I'll see you soon. Bye.